Hi, I'm your host, Marsha Florence for Just Ask. Today our guest is the National Kidney Foundation of Michigan. Hurry back and join us. Hi, I'm your host, Marsha Florence for Just Ask. Today we have with us the National Kidney Foundation, Lynn Zacharias and Ray Blackstock. Hi, Lynn. Hi, Ray.
Hi.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having us.
Lynn, can you give us your title for your program? I'm sorry.
Well, I'm the communications manager for the National Kidney Foundation of Michigan. My job is to promote our programs and services and let people know what we do, and also to educate the public about what causes kidney failure and hopefully prevent some cases of kidney failure.
Okay. I'm sorry. Ray, your title?
I'm a program manager. I make sure that our programs are made for people that have end-stage renal disease. Also, I run a professional program, which I think is important since I, too, have kidney failure.
Okay. Well, Lynn, I want to start off with you, and the question I want to ask, can you give us a little history on the Kidney Foundation?
Sure. We were founded in 1955, and our purpose was to find a cure for kidney failure, but unfortunately we haven't been able to do that. So until that happens, we want to enhance the quality of life for people who are living with kidney failure, and we do that through programs and services. We also raise money for research and educational purposes for people living with kidney disease.
Okay. Now, this is the office for Michigan.
Right.
Is there a national office all over, or?
We have offices in almost every state in the country. Our headquarters are in New York City.
Okay. And how did you become involved with the National Kidney Foundation?
It was a job, so I wanted to do public relations, and I wanted to work with people. I like working for nonprofit organizations. You feel good about what you're doing, and our affiliate is a really excellent affiliate in the country. We have won several awards for our programs and services, so it makes me really proud to be a part of the National Kidney Foundation of Michigan.
Okay. So in particular, what type of services are available for persons with kidney failure?
Well, we have quite a few programs and services. We have educational programs for people who are living with kidney disease so that they learn how to better manage their disease. We also have educational programs that try to prevent kidney disease or to prolong kidney failure. We have other programs like that can help people living with kidney disease. We have a drug bank for people who might not have prescription coverage. We can help give them prescription coverage. We have an emergency fund where this is a chronic illness, so when people are living with a chronic illness, they oftentimes can have some financial hardships.
Right.
So we have a program, emergency fund, for people who might not be able to pay their electric bill or their gas bill or the phone bill, where we'll do that for them.
Okay.
Those are just a few of our programs.
Is there an age criteria involved?
No, there are, people with kidney disease are usually older. They're more, they're adult age, but there are children that are living with kidney failure in the state of Michigan. It's becoming more prevalent with people as younger adults instead of older adults.
Okay. Now, if there are young adults, say pre-adolescents or teens, can they continue to go to school, or do you work with them so they can continue their education?
Well, when people have kidney failure, they have to receive some type of treatment to continue to live. Mm-hmm. When your kidneys fail, you need to treat it with dialysis or transplant. For people who are on dialysis, for kids who are on dialysis, they would have to work their dialysis in with their school time, because they have to go on 2 dialysis 3 times a week for approximately 4 hours at a time.
Okay. So what actually causes the kidney disease? Has there been any history on what causes kidney disease, or is it variation in problems at birth, or?
70% of all cases of kidney failure are caused by diabetes and high blood pressure. So we know that those cases, some of those cases can be prevented, some of those cases can be prolonged. There are some diseases where you're born, hereditary diseases, and there are just other diseases that can hurt your kidneys. Also, heavy drug use can destroy your kidneys as well.
Any warning signs when you may think you have kidney disease?
There are 6 warning signs to kidney failure, and they include burning or difficulty during urination, frequent urination, particularly at night, bloody appearing urine, pain in the small of the back just below the ribs, and that's where your kidneys are located, swelling around your eyes and your hands and feet, and that's because your kidneys aren't working and so fluid is building up in your body, and high blood pressure.
Okay. Okay, well, those are pretty heavy symptoms there. So those are the main signs to let a person know they probably have some form of, it could be a slight infection getting worse if they don't take care of it. So those are the immediate signs.
Ray can address that more than I can,
Okay.
but what I wanted to say is that if you have diabetes or high blood pressure, you are at risk for kidney failure, and it's important that when you go in for a physical to ask your doctor to check your kidney function and let you know how your kidneys are doing. You need to be aware of that, because if they say yes, you are at risk for kidney failure, there are things that you can do to prevent it or prolong your kidneys from failing.
Okay. Okay, well, Ray, being a program manager, give us a little insight about yourself and what you do as a program manager.
Well, basically, we work with people that have kidney failure. In fact, I got affiliated with the foundation. I spent time in publishing, and when I had kidney failure, I was looking to see, well, what could you do to give back? And I started volunteering for the foundation, and then a position opened up, and I, went on staff.
Okay.
So it's sort of like, to give back. And it's also, when we go to programs for people that have kidney failure, I can talk their lingo. They can't tell me, well, what do you know about dialysis? Because I can say, well, I was on dialysis, and I can tell them all about it.
Okay.
It's the peer, I'm not the doctor, I'm just someone that has kidney failure.
Okay.
And I seem to be doing fine. It's being a role model to show them that we can do things. The world didn't end when I had kidney failure.
Okay. Now, you said when you had kidney failure, are you considered well now, or does kidney
No.
failure have a sign that's like readmission or something, admission?
No, you always have kidney failure.
Okay.
It's what treatment you're in. You're either in peritoneal dialysis, where you have a catheter inserted into your stomach and you do exchanges, 4 or more exchanges a day, or you're in hemodialysis, where you have an access in your arms, chest, jugular, or in the groin area, so blood can come out, be cleaned, and put back into your body. Or you're transplanted, which is ultimate dialysis, because you're dialyzing 7 days a week, 24 hours a day.
Okay. All right. Okay. That's pretty deep. Okay. So you actually go out as the program manager and speak to individual groups. Do you both go out and speak to groups, or?
Actually, we hold classes.
Okay.
In fact, we got one right now. We have 42 people in there that have kidney failure, or there's about 4 or 5 spouses in there. And this is also important, that the family understands what we're going through, and that we're not just lazy if we're not properly dialyzed. We may have signs and don't want to do things, but it's important for us to know what our lab values should be. And to me, having kidney failure has been, like a part-time job, but it's the most important part-time job I could ever have.
Okay. Where does water play an important role in that? I mean, do you stress drinking water to people a lot?
Well, if a person has kidney failure, if you're on dialysis, your fluid intake is going to be limited.
Okay.
That's because we cannot, our kidneys don't function. We don't cleanse our bodies of the toxins.
Okay.
And if you're transplanted, though, you have to drink a lot of fluid to keep that transplanted kidney going.
Okay. Okay, but a person can live with one kidney.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
We're born with 2 kidneys. Each kidney has 1 million nephrons. And so you start off with 2 million nephrons. That's your filtering systems.
Okay.
Those get scarred, which mean they're destroyed. They can never come back.
Okay.
Once they're gone, they're gone. And when you get down to about 30,000 nephrons left, that's when you have kidney failure.
Okay. Now, you yourself, because you are a byproduct of a kidney failure, you know this by heart now. But before then, you had no idea or no
I had,
knowledge?
well, I'd read about it, but most people, when they tell you you're going to have kidney failure, you don't run right to the library and say, oh, let me read about
Right.
it.
Okay.
And unfortunately, 68% of the people that are diagnosed in the state of Michigan are diagnosed in the ER.
Really?
They go in, they don't feel good, and next thing you know, the doctor's saying, Marcia, I've got some bad news for you. You have kidney failure. And that's where it starts.
Okay.
And if you have hypertension, anybody with hypertension should not go to kidney failure, because you can take medications and prevent that. And if you're diabetic, it's a matter of managing your diabetes. So that's another factor.
Okay, and so they all seem to be tied in together, because one can trigger off the reaction to another, right?
It's very true.
I'm assuming that that could be, okay. Okay, so hypertension and diabetes and kidney failure all can run into, is renal involved
Renal
in that?
failure is another name for kidney disease
Okay.
or
Okay.
kidney failure.
Okay. And so normally a person who catches it in time may not have to go on dialysis, but they will probably take medication.
Well, if you have diabetes and high blood pressure, the key is to control those two medical conditions. A lot of times people have diabetes or high blood pressure and they think, oh, I'm going to live forever. That's not going to happen to me. I can go without taking my meds. I don't have to follow this diet this doctor has given me. I can eat that. I can do this. And that's not good, because in order for you to save your kidneys, you need to follow your doctor's recommendations. It's important to control those two medical conditions.
Okay. I think people are a little stubborn about controlling their diet. And diet,
That's very true.
Yeah, diet is an important factor in most of everything we do, especially when you talk about health care. So, and I'm sure you all have to stress the fact that you have to take care of yourself dietary-wise as well as anything else when you...
It's actually a quality of life issue. Maybe I can't eat certain products or in limited amounts or drink limited fluids, but to me, if you think about it, that's a small price to pay, to make yourself feel good, to be able to do things with your family or your friends. Just, like I say, the total thing, quality of life.
Right, right. So if you can't drink a beer, it shouldn't be an issue. Just
No.
can't have a beer.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. And the average person feels like, oh, I'm missing out on something if I can't have this beer, if I can't have this glass of wine, which goes against some of the rules of taking care of yourself if you have a disease or a disability of some sort that's internal. And I don't understand how people can just bypass the thought that this one glass of wine or one glass of beer will make the difference out of all the days of the week, when they're trying to better themselves. I think it's a little selfishness in there when they don't think clearly.
Well, a lot of times they just don't think it's going to happen to them. And too, with diabetes and high blood pressure, some people might not have prescription drug coverage where they can afford to take all the medications that are needed to control those two medical conditions. So unfortunately, that leads to kidney failure. And that's why there's a lot of nonprofit organizations that are out there that can help people. There's the Diabetes Association that can help people. I'm sure they can help. We have a prescription drug bank that can help people too. So it's important to get those prescriptions to control your illness.
Okay.
And drug companies also have programs that will help you out. It's just a matter of tapping into them and using them.
Okay. Well, I tell you what, let's take a commercial break, and when we come back, we'll pick up on that question right there. Let's go to a break.
Saying goodbye to your old car can be like saying goodbye to an old friend. But the parting can become sweet sorrow if that old friend saves lives through the National Kidney Foundation's Kidney Cars program. Donate your old car and the funds will support programs that can save lives. We'll even arrange a pickup and you might qualify for a tax deduction. Call 1-800-488-CARS. The National Kidney Foundation's Kidney Cars program. It puts the good in goodbye.
Hi, welcome back to the second half of the show. For those of you who are just joining us, we have the National Kidney Foundation, Lynn Zacharias and Ray Blackstock. Now, Lynn and Ray, we left off on a very important question. It was something about the drug bank. Okay.
Yes, the drug bank is for people that have kidney failure to help them with their scripts. What happens though, they have to see their social worker at their unit, and they fill out an application and they submit it to us, and then we get it approved and they get their drugs.
Okay, okay. Now when you say drugs, they're already a client, right? Or are they clients or patients? What are they?
Well, they're actually affiliated with a dialysis unit, so
Okay.
we're just helping people. You know, we don't have clients per se.
Okay.
We have people that go through our programs. Anybody can go through our programs who is living with kidney disease or has a family member or wants to learn more about it.
How do they contact you?
Well, we have an 800 number, which is 800-482-1455, and we are open business hours, and we're always willing to talk to anybody who has questions about kidney disease. They might be living it with it themselves, or they might have some questions about diabetes or high blood pressure. They might think that they may be at risk for kidney disease. We're always willing to talk to people.
So you have a 1-800 number, and it's during regular business hours?
Correct.
Okay, okay. Now, where are you located exactly?
Well, we're in Ann Arbor, but we also have offices in Grand Rapids. We're opening very shortly an office in Lansing, and we're hoping to open an office very shortly in Detroit.
Okay, okay. So the 1-800 number is helpful for questions. And,
Right.
And okay. Now, well, feel free to give out the number again, and we'll definitely flash the number up for you.
Okay.
Okay. Now, also you have other type of programs. What are some of the programs?
We have educational programs for people who are living with kidney disease. And Ray, I'm going to ask him to talk about them, because living with a chronic illness is different than going to the hospital when you break your arm.
Okay.
When you break your arm, you go in, you get fixed, and that's it. When you're living with a chronic illness, it's something that you have to live with for the rest of your life. We like to educate people to become consumers of their health care. You know, when you're buying a car, you look for a lot of different options. You look at the best value you can get. You want to get the best quality thing you can get. Sometimes when you're living with a chronic illness, you don't think like that. You listen to what your doctor says, and you don't ask the questions, and you don't look for the best care that you can get. And that's what we advocate for. We want people to get the best health care they can, because with better dialysis, people live longer.
Okay.
And one of our programs is our outreach program. It's a 4-day seminar where we teach people about the disease. We also teach them about better dialysis, and we also teach them how to live a better quality of life.
Okay. Okay, now Ray, do you want to elaborate on the programs that you've been involved in?
Well, and part of I think the selling factor for that program is that it was designed by a person that has kidney failure, and he also moderates the program. I work at the program, and a couple other people that have kidney failure that are volunteers work at the program, so they're role models. It's sort of like saying, well, you know, people look at us and think, well, geez, you have kidney failure? And you go, well, yes. And we try to get them to, you know, get that quality of life, you know, to know that you got to have adequate dialysis. You can't just sit down and say, I'm taking my treatment or doing your exchanges and not know what you're doing. You get lab values once a month. Those are key. You got to read those. They're important. If they're not to the minimum, you've got to ask, no matter if it's a dietitian, a doctor, a nurse, what's going on here? You know, other problems that you may come up with is a social worker. You're part of the medical team. In fact, you're the most important part of the medical team, because whatever the decision is, you feel.
Okay.
You know, and it's a matter, like I said, of asking questions, adhering to your diet. You know, you don't eat things you're not supposed to just because, well, I want to eat that.
Okay.
So we try to empower these people so they can go back and get good dialysis, and we have a lot of good stories. We also offer them chances to have education, whether that be college, vocational, which is paid for by the state, and it's an opportunity. You know, instead of looking at kidney failure as a disaster in your life, it's actually an opportunity for you.
Okay, that's well said. Now, do you find people call you and ask you some strange questions? Any particular type of strange questions?
Well, probably one of the strangest questions we've had is somebody wanted to donate their kidney to us.
Okay. All right.
I
So,
think you get calls all the time saying, well, how much, you know, are you paying for kidneys? And
Oh.
that's illegal to buy and sell kidneys in this country.
In the country.
Okay.
So,
But is there a program where a person can donate a kidney?
Not really, no.
Okay.
A lot of times you can hear of where a mother donates her kidney to her daughter.
Right.
And it's usually people who know each other or friends of someone, a very good friend will donate a kidney to someone else.
Okay.
And it's one of the greatest gifts a person could give.
I'm sure.
You know, their life stays normal. You know, they can live with one kidney. We all can live with one kidney. But for the person who receives the kidney, it changes their life.
I was wondering, there has to be an altering state to readjust to a kidney that once was someone else's.
well, I don't know. My attitude has always been parts are parts. And,
Okay.
you know, I need a kidney, and as long as the antigen match is there, you know, that's fine. But, you know, when you talk about donors, the important thing is everybody should be a donor. When we pass on, you know, let's give those organs a chance to help somebody else. You know,
Okay.
I was very fortunate. Someone donated, you know, organs, and I was one of the recipients. And to me, it's, you know, I'm very thankful and happy, you know, that it happened. On the other side, it's like, well, you know, somebody had to die for me to get these organs. And that's kind of a sad part, but at least that's something they wanted to do. And whoever they were, I know they'd be very proud of what's happening with their organs. You know,
Okay.
you take care of them.
Okay.
So I think everybody should be a donor because Michigan ranks number 45 out of 50 in organ donation.
Wow.
So we really have to work at this.
Okay. Now, speaking of donations, you have a car donation program?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
This is a great way for people to help support the Kidney Foundation. We accept unwanted vehicles from individuals, and they can call an 800 number, which is 800-488-CARS, C-A-R-S. We will tow a car away from any location, a driveway or along the roadside or in a parking lot. We'll come get it, and that serves as a donation to the Kidney Foundation. We auction off these cars either as a running car or for parts or for scrap metal, and the proceeds go to support all the programs and services and research that we were talking about earlier. The donor will be able to receive will be eligible for a tax deduction based on the fair market value of the vehicle. So it's a great program. The car is towed away for free. They're eligible for a tax deduction, and the Kidney Foundation is getting a wonderful donation. It's a great
Okay.
program.
That sounds really nice. Now, you all have a walkathon or something coming up shortly?
We do. It's going to be May 16th at the Detroit Zoo. It's going to be a fun event. We're expecting about 1,500 people to come out. And this is great because we get people involved who are on dialysis, who are living with a transplant, and they get to come and they walk through the zoo. And it's a fun event. We ask that people raise $25 to the Kidney Foundation, and they can participate. They'll get a T-shirt, and they'll get to stay at the zoo for part of the day.
That's nice. Okay.
It's a fun event.
Well, keep us posted. We'd like to join you, and definitely let our viewers know on the future dates so that you can have us come out and make sure that we be a part of that. Okay, and that's May 16th?
May 16th.
Okay, okay. So you have the car donation, and that's all year round though, right?
It's year-round.
Okay.
This time would be a good time to think about it, though, because, well, it's after tax time, and if you didn't get that tax refund that you wanted, it might be a good time to donate an unwanted car that you have, because it can be a better value if you're donating it rather than trying to sell it if the car isn't, you know, worth a lot of money to somebody else. So it can
Okay.
serve you much better donating it to the Kidney
So
Foundation.
that's the 1-800-CARS
Number,
Okay.
yes.
Okay. Okay, for donating cars. Okay, well that's good. That's worthwhile. I mean, you know, if you actually not using the car and it's just sitting there, why not give it to a charitable organization that can use it and turn the money over for a very good cause?
Right. And we take cars
Okay.
that aren't running, too. They do have to contain all their parts. They can't be missing the engine or the door.
Okay.
But they don't have to be running. So if your car died on the freeway, we'll come get it, and you don't have to pay to get it towed away. And it's also a donation
Okay, and a
to the
tax
foundation.
deductible.
Right.
Okay. Well, that sounds real good. Sounds fair. Okay. All right. So with all these programs all mixed up together, I can just call you and say, hey, I feel like that I need some support from one of you guys, and you'll listen to my situation and help me locate the nearby service? Or
We will. Actually, we have 4 people that work at the foundation who are living with kidney disease. So they're extremely knowledgeable. They're just, like Ray. They all have had kidney disease for a good part of their life, so they know the best ways to treat it, and they're always willing to talk to people.
okay, so that makes it even better, because a person who has lived through the situation can easily tell someone what's going on or how they're going to feel, or not necessarily like a doctor, but can give some insight on, I've been there, so I about know how you feel right about now. Okay, so now is your staff majority of persons with kidney failure? Or?
Well, we're a small staff. There's only 20 of us, and we serve the whole state of Michigan.
It's okay.
But 4 of us have kidney disease. So that's a pretty big percentage of our staff.
Okay. Okay.
And we also have an intern program where we have other people with kidney disease come in to work, which is kind of nice. And we have volunteers that have kidney failure that come in. So we can cover a lot of things, with people.
Okay, okay. Any knowledgeable books or materials, brochures that person can get you to send to them?
If somebody calls in, we do have brochures, and we'll mail them out to you.
Okay, you want to give us that phone number again?
It's 1-800-482-1455. And if you miss it, you can always call the 800 directory.
Okay, well, we'll definitely flash the number up on the end of the show. But we'd like to thank you both for coming out, and we look forward to participating in the National Kidney Foundation Walkathon.
That is it.
May 16th, 1998. Well, Lynn Zacharias and Ray Blackstock, I thank you so much for coming out. Please feel free to come back anytime and drop us a note on anything that's upcoming. We'd love to have you back.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay. Well, folks, for those of you who know who we are, we're Just Ask, and anyone who's interested in coming on the show in the future, please give us a call. Our area code is 248-988-0250 if you have any questions or comments, or if you're interested in future shows. Also, like I always say, if you know someone with a disability, don't be afraid to ask. Just ask. I'm your host, Marcia Florence. Thank you.
Saying goodbye to your old car can be like saying goodbye to an old friend. But the parting can become sweet sorrow if that old friend saves lives through the National Kidney Foundation's Kidney Cars program. Donate your old car and the funds will support programs that can save lives. We'll even arrange a pickup, and you might qualify for a tax deduction. Call 1-800-488-CARS. The National Kidney Foundation's Kidney Cars program. It puts the good in goodbye.
The Oakland County Cable Communications Corporation invites you to attend their 13th Annual Accessibility Awards, April 30th at 7 p.m. in the main auditorium of Oakland Community College, Royal Oak campus. The awards recognize individuals and community organizations for achievements in public, municipal, and educational access programming. Join us for this exciting evening of awards, music, and prizes. For more information, call 248-589-7778.